right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another night of Owatonna Wrestling Weekly Podcast. This is Larry Hunter along with head coach Derek Johnson. I haven't called him his dad's name yet, so I'm doing really good after all these weeks.
That is a good
The first week I almost did. But anyway, Derek is our head coach, as you well know, and we appreciate everyone that watches here. We have a lot of fun with this, and hope you do too.
Absolutely.
So we'll start out with the high school team last Saturday, Coach.
Yeah, so we had a little ninth grade meet the day before in Eastview. Kind of a good warm-up for our freshmen, and then a few middle schoolers did well, too, there at that tournament. And then right into the next day, both Varsity and JV were at Coon Rapids. Varsity was a dual tournament format, and then JV was individual. So on the dual side, we started our day with number 16 Princeton. There's in AA.
Oh, boy.
And lost a heartbreaker, and it's funny because the kids want to make it about two matches. I was really trying to be careful not to be like, well, we lost because of this. Because honestly, like across the board, we all could have done a little better. But it's funny because they're like, Blake Fitcher had a close one where he had his kid stuck for 35 seconds and didn't get the call, and so only won by decision instead of pin. That would have tied it up.
Yep.
Trey Hyatt needed like 2 more seconds in his match, and that would have been a 6-point swing. So he was scrambling and almost had the takedown, just ran out of time right there. But
they're going to learn by that because they'll know next time they got to start a little earlier.
Yep.
They will learn.
Yep. It was fun because across the board, the theme of the day was we were in better shape, and that was cool to see. So in every single dual meet, overall, every single wrestler was in better shape than the opposition. So it was cool for us to kind of flip that switch and realize that and see them kind of dragging in the third period and like pouncing on it. And yet again, yeah, we could do that a little bit earlier in the match. And so we're not coming from behind or anything, but
they will.
Yeah, had some heroic performances. In that match, I'm going to hop down to highlights here because in that match, Cale Robb had the number 10 ranked Atkins from Princeton, and Robb took it to him. So he was racking up points to where he was going to tech fall him and then ended up sticking him in a bar. So he looked lights out on the day. He was 2-0. He had I believe a state qualifier from Hastings that he destroyed as well. And so he's looking sharp.
Is he going to do something like his brother did? He went up 3 weight classes this summer?
Yeah, 132 to 160.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's a powerhouse.
All muscle. Still wrestles like a lightweight. It's fun to watch.
Fun and fast?
Yeah, very fast, very quick. So, yeah, Princeton overall was a match where we easily could have had it. That could have been like a 12-point win versus a 3-point loss.
I call that a learner match.
Yeah.
They'll learn what they got to do, start a little earlier in that third period after them, and maybe wear them out a little more in that second period, and then you got them in the third period.
Absolutely.
That's kind of what I look at.
Yeah.
Went after anyway.
And then we had the number 2 ranked team in the state, Hastings, and they looked all of number 2 in the state, 61 to 12. But even in those where we were outmatched, so for instance, skipping down again, because Jack Sorensen took on he was wrestling 152, but he took on the 145 second ranked in state, Jake Faust, and basically took him to the route. I think it was a 2-point match until like the last minute of the match. Oh. So he looked sharp and in shape, and that was cool to see. So yeah, we had some bright spots. They're just a very stout team, top to bottom. So it was a good learning experience on that too. So.
Well, if he can pull that off with a number 2 rank, he should have a pretty good season.
Yeah. He was kind of proving it to himself. You could tell that he belongs, that he's not just in a varsity spot, that he's going to do some damage there. So that was cool.
Well, then you got Ryan and Grant. How'd they do?
Yeah, so Ryan Feltz and Grant Lauer, who we're going to listen to here in a second, both recorded their first career wins. And the cool part about it was against Princeton, we were mathematically eliminated. We were down by 9 going into heavyweight. And yet our fan base, our bench, everybody went crazy when Grant got the pin. It was so cool to see. and you could tell it meant a lot to everyone. And for Ryan Feltz, he got his first career win in the Coon Rapids duel, and so by that time JV was over, so he also had a big crowd because all the JV wrestlers were Matt's side and cheering him on, and same thing, everyone went crazy.
Oh boy,
so
them new
cool.
wrestlers. I remember a guy named Matt Stitz. He probably he wrestled all the way through junior high. I don't think he won a match. And he got into high school. I don't think he won a match, so he was a sophomore or junior. And when he won that first match, the whole gym went nuts.
Yeah.
Because they're just hoping he can make it, you know.
Right.
And that's what they did with these guys last weekend, it sounds like. So that's good.
Yeah. And then, we had our third duel of the day was against Coon Rapids. They're kind of in a rebuild. So we mopped them up pretty well. And we had some... we were able to work in some guys too that we brought as alternates on varsity and get some good varsity time, and we looked so sharp in that duel. And
63-18 was the score on that one.
yeah, yep. And then and then another bright spot was 7th grader Caden Lindquist went 3-0 on the day. So that was cool to see. He nearly had an insane day, meaning Hastings has the number 1 ranked kid at 106. He weighed in at 13 that day. No. And then Coon Rapids had the number 7th or 8th ranked guy at 106, and he didn't make weight that day. So, Caden went from, having some world beaters to still stout, though. Bauer, the little kid from Hastings.
Work out with those kids.
Yeah,
good,
they are tough kids. The Coon Rapids 106 was still a strong, I think he was an upperclassman at 106, so not easy going. But he, Lindquist, we've been waiting for him for a long time to see him in the wrestling room, and being 96 pounds, he's in there and he's holding his own. So
cool.
Yep.
All right, I think we got everybody on that one. Now we'll move on to this week. No, that's tomorrow, Thursday.
Yeah, so we have a home try. We have Austin and Rochester Century. We start the night off with Rochester Century at 5 p.m. Both varsity and JV start. We're going to have 2 mats going all night. And one thing to note is all tickets need to be purchased through the hometown ticketing app or website. There's no more cash at the door, anything like that.
My wife got caught at the door with that. She had to get on her phone and she what she's doing.
Yep, that's the thing, is they'll just have you do it on your phone right on the spot. So hometown ticketing, that's all home. Not just wrestling meets, but any athletic event here at the high school. Hometown ticketing's what you need to go to.
They call it cashless. They aren't using any cash.
Yep. And you'll see the benefit. People fly through. There's no more lines. It's just so fast. Yep. So, and then, so that's 5 p.m. Then we take a break where Rochester Century and Austin are wrestling at about 6:15. And then kind of the marquee matchup is Austin at about 7:15, 7:30, depends on when Century and Austin get done with theirs. So we won't be under the lamp because we're running varsity and JV, same time, dual mats. But it'll be a cool time to
I like that
showcase.
with JV. I think that's a good idea.
Just because of a try, that's the way we're going to do it. Otherwise, we'd be here till 10 p.m. So, yeah.
Yep. How tough? What's Austin look like?
Austin has a few individuals that are pretty tough, kind of like last year, where they had 2 or 3 guys that are probably going to do some serious damage, but then the rest of the team is pretty green.
That's always the way they've been. It's always 2 or 3 guys every year.
Yeah,
for many years.
It's been since probably like 98, 99. Those days where they were more like 6 guys and then holes in the lineup. But so.
Okay, then we move on to Saturday.
Yeah, Ethan Hermon invite Chanhassen. So.
Have we ever been to that one before?
Yep, apparently we've been doing that for 5-6 years.
All right.
That's the one where Michael Renardi had the injury last year.
Oh yes, I remember.
Yep. So they run adjacent gyms. They'll have varsity in one and JV in the other, and running 3 mats. It's a very efficient tournament, and we'll have both sides doing individual on that one.
Cool.
Yep.
And last but not least, Owatonna Middle School. This week they have at home.
Yeah, right? Home on Thursday.
Home on Thursday. So what time does that start?
I believe that's at 4:15. 4:15, right around there.
And then varsity starts after that.
Yep.
At 5 or 5:15 or?
5 for varsity. So they'll be at middle school. We'll be at the middle school. That's where they're hosting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was wondering
because
how you're
they're
gonna
probably gonna run
cross
till like
over.
6:30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, because there's 3 other teams coming.
Yeah, Mankato East, Northfield, and Shakopee.
Yeah.
So the middle school will be at the junior high, or I guess you call it the middle school
At the
now.
middle school. Yeah. Yep.
I'm showing my
In the
age
new
there.
gym. That's all right.
And then Saturday, you travel?
Saturday. Yep. They're heading to Elsworth. That's a really good tournament there, and we Coach Ewell and the middle school director Sean Hughes. You heard the name Shakopee in that home meet. They're really trying to branch out, see a lot of different teams. Otherwise, we kind of get stuck in the same teams want to do the same things in this area, and it's we're going to see them 3 or 4 times anyway. So it's great that they're able to go to tournaments like Elsworth and see some Wisconsin teams and some Metro teams and stuff like that.
I remember one time we went to it was past River Falls in Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
I got a junior high bus to go, and Jacob was one of my boys was coaching over there, so we got a bus to go over
nice.
there. We wrestled against him, and Josh Gabe and Adam were on my team.
Oh, that's cool.
So the boys were coaching against each other.
Yeah.
That was fun because we did very well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's why it's fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, I guess that about covers it up here for the high school and the middle school, and we got our guests coming up right after this break. Okay, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Owatonna Wrestling Weekly Podcast Show here with head coach Derek Johnson, and I'm Larry Hovden, and we got a new guy on the bench,
Yep, Grant Lauer.
Grant Lauer. O'Grady,
Also known as Moose.
Yep,
and I can see why.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm in 11th grade.
11th? Oh, you got another year yet. Ooh, Coach Johnson over there's drooling over that guy.
I know. Mr. Lauer is someone that the football coaches and I in track and field, we have a lot of discussions. Everyone's saying the same thing, that once this kid unlocks his rage, his absolute fiery anger rage, he is going to be unstoppable. And guess what? Football season went really well for you. What positions were you for varsity?
I was right tackle on offense and nose guard for defense.
Played all the time.
Two-way player, unlocking that aggression.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the high school room, suddenly he goes from so he's only been wrestling how many years?
This is my 3rd year.
Third year.
Started as a freshman then.
Yep.
Freshman as a heavyweight. I mean, that's a
That's
tough road to hoe. Yeah.
Greg Karsten, as a heavyweight in 9th grade, didn't win a match. I think
Yeah.
he won 1 match.
Yep.
He was
So,
a state champ his senior year.
Yeah.
yeah.
So, yeah, it can happen.
So what happened this weekend?
I got my first varsity win.
Nice. And was it just barely? Did you just barely beat the guy?
No, it was pinned in the beginning of the 2nd period.
Yeah.
At the beginning.
Yep.
Were you
The
started
sound-
on top? Or did you get out of
Yeah.
there?
Yeah.
Started on top.
I think
Yeah.
it was both
Break it
up.
down. Break it down. What
Off the
happened?
Beginning.
Oh, from the
Of
beginning of that
period.
second period.
Yeah.
So-
How'd that go?
Started both up and then got underhook and then I dropped him down and then just fought him with a half Nelson until he fell.
Rolled him over.
He had a power half that was so tight. The noises that poor kid made underneath you. It was like gurgling and grunt, but it was like, you were flat out smashing
Could he
him.
breathe?
You can hear it from like 10 feet away. So, he's either going over or he's dying. So, yeah.
If it hurts too much, it'll go over.
What did
It
that?
will.
So what did that feel like? You're one of the hardest workers in the room for 2 years. You do all the right things. You lift weights hard, and then it finally pays off. What was that like?
It just feels really good to have it like all finally come together and get a win in varsity.
Did you go home smiling in the car?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Good. Good. That's good.
Yep. And almost had your second. Had a really tough match. I swear that kid was like greased up with something like
was
Vaseline or
slippery.
something. Just kept slipping out of everything.
Oh, boy.
His third match. So yeah, but same thing, man. It's so cool because you've clearly tapped into what we were talking about, like that aggression. Like, was it the first match or the third match where the kid was just outright trying to punch you?
Third match, yeah.
Your third match.
Yeah.
He's trying to take you out of that match mentally when they do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Just stay focused and get him. Get after him.
What I love about Lauer is when he goes for an underhook, he's like doing an uppercut. Like, just, it's going to land, and he hooks him in so hard. And that was what I was saying, where the kid seemed greased up, because every time you got an underhook, that arm just kept going all the way over your head, like just immediately, and you just slither out every time. But no, that was
I
cool.
should tell you, we had another guy about your size named Travis View, and he had a lateral drop.
Oh, yeah.
And he patented that move and did it to anybody. They knew it was coming, and he got them all on it. So it sounds like you got a good underhook. And we named the move after him, that lateral drop. So maybe if you're doing real well, we could do that with you too. But
Maybe.
that's how you do. That's what we do.
All right.
We don't give it to you before. We'll give you the good name after.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're doing well.
Yep.
So how about practice? How's that going? Who do you wrestle with in practice?
During practice, I wrestle Caden Keller, our coach Woody, our Max.
Oh,
So.
okay.
Got a variety of people, I guess.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Different sizes.
Yeah, different sizes.
That's
and
what you need at that
exactly.
220 and what are you, 240?
Yeah, 245.
245.
245, lean, mean. And yeah, like,
Oh, man, he's going to be good.
Coach Woodrich, Caden Keller, those are more like the 280s. And then Max Flemke is only, 205, but is strong enough to, at least survive against you.
Yeah.
But it's cool that, you have that range of speed and strength and weight that can kind of show you every type of heavyweight you may encounter. So,
What's your goal? Are you going to stay at this weight? You want to get down to 220, or what are you going to do?
I'll sit this week
Stay at
probably.
this weight. Okay.
Probably next year put on more muscle.
You bet. Cut to 280.
Yeah,
yeah,
280 all muscle.
There you go.
That's the goal.
You'll be a monster.
yeah. His,
They'll run
his
from you.
parents even circled heavyweight on the certification sheet. We are not going below heavyweight.
There
So
you
I love it.
go. Okay. Okay. So practice sounds like it's going well.
Yep.
What do you want the team to do this year? What do you think? Like, how are they going to finish? How are they going to wrestle against these other teams? Are they focused, or?
I'm not sure. We're a pretty good team for being young. I think we could go,
I'm hearing that
Pretty
name
good.
a lot, young.
yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of sophomores and freshmen.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have like too many. We have like 4 seniors maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a pretty young team. Yeah.
Well, they'll learn too.
Yeah.
Are you going to be kind of leader for them, or are you just going to go out and just pound on guys?
Yeah, I think I'll probably be some sort of leader, I
Well,
guess.
good. They'll look
Yeah.
up to you if you're big.
Yep.
They will.
Yeah, if you can't tell, Mr. Lauer is pretty soft-spoken. He's a big teddy bear, but definitely leads by example with his, work ethic in the room. And I'm not joking when I say, like, you looked like you were in just better conditioning, better shape than, like, a large percentage of our team. Like, I've never. It's a great surprise to see a heavyweight just moving as quickly and as diligently as you do in the third period. It's so cool to see. So you're definitely earning it, every bit of it in the practice room. So love that. But
Well, I got to ask, how about your goals? What do you think? Where do you think you're going to end up? Now, it's a long season. It's 4 months.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe somewhere in state.
All right.
Probably won't win it this year, but maybe next year I'll get somewhere close to that.
Place at state this year. That's
Yeah,
a good
place at
goal.
state.
It's a very good goal.
Yep.
'Cause
That's my goal.
It's tough in sections. These sections is where it starts, right there.
well, and what a great testament to having the right mindset and who you are as a person. I mean, you're also a great student.
Yep.
Yeah, and that definitely, I know your parents have a big effect on you that way. Like everyone in your family is, a high achiever. So that's awesome. And then,
Wow.
you only started wrestling 2 years ago, and you're talking about state aspirations at a grown man weight, heavyweight. Like, that is so cool to see. And, like, look, kids, look, this is what you can do
When
right
you
here.
lift weights, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Your muscles will make your bones grow bigger, and that's how you get taller. It
Yep,
is.
yep.
It's true.
You know?
It's true.
All right, here's the important question. No, you go. You got it.
What's your walkout music? What do you like to have playing? Okay.
Probably like heavy rock or something.
There you
I'm
go.
kind of a heavy rock guy.
You got a certain
Ooh.
band?
Not really, no.
Okay. Okay.
You ready for some suggestions? Because that's my area.
For sure, yeah.
I
Yeah, I'll
like
give you
that.
some German death metal and stuff like that.
I like that one song by Eminem, Last.
Lose yourself.
One shot,
Yeah.
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 Yep.
So that really, what he says in there is so true. Our junior high, on the team, we came out with that music, with that song. They
Yeah.
wanted that, and we just used it all the time when we could, when we had the stuff. We had the microphones, or we had the equipment to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they loved it. And the parents did. They stood up and clapped when we came out. It was a big deal. Junior high came out.
Bet.
So, yeah, that walkout music really sets your tone.
Yep.
Nice. Well, I just want to thank you for shout outs. Who do you got? Who you want to mention?
I don't know.
Friends,
I'm
buddies.
just gonna say I know your girlfriend's name now. So
Yeah, I guess my girlfriend, Emma Green, and then my parents, too. Yeah.
The parents
Yep.
too. There
Hey,
you go.
Well, do you have siblings?
Man, what a good kid.
Yeah, my brother, who's in college,
Yeah.
Trent Lauer, yeah.
There you go. There you go.
He's
Nice.
just a perfect little boy, isn't he?
Yeah. Exactly. Well, and thank you so much. Like I said, you step up as a leader all the time. You lead by example, both in character and work ethic, and we need more people like you who, you don't have to be the most vocal on the team to set that kind of example.
leader.
So I overheard a conversation with you and a couple of the other wrestlers, and they were asking what you wanted to be, and everyone's throwing out different things, and you're like, accountant, and they're like, why accountant? And you're like, that's where the money is. And it's like, yeah, like, everyone wants, it doesn't have to be like, the most exotic thing. You're such a level-headed, pragmatic kid, and I love that. So that's awesome.
Yep. That leading by example is so true. Them kids will look up to you, and don't let it go to your head like, oh, I'm the big shot. No, you just keep doing what you're doing right now.
All right.
You're humble, but it sounds like when you get on that mat, you're not too humble. You go after them.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you got to do.
Moose. Yeah.
Moose.
Yeah, we got to be chanting that as a community.
I'm going to write that down.
Moose.
I got it. We got a name for you.
Nice. Awesome. Well, thank you, sir. Appreciate you being on the
Yep.
podcast.
Thank you.
It was good meeting you.
Nice to meet you, too.
All right, thank you. And that kind of wraps up our show here for the Owatonna Wrestling Weekly Podcast, and we'll see you next week. Thanks for listening. See you next time.